Welcome back everybody, I'm Kyle with the Country Carving channel. Today I want to teach you how to carve this little Santa Christmas ornament. So stay tuned and we'll jump right in. Thanks. So today we're going to carve the Santa Christmas ornament. This one's done in cottonwood bark. Really nice, soft, easy wood to carve. However, today we're going to do it in basswood. So we're going to start with a block like this, and we're going to rough it out with our knife and create the ornament. So I'm going to teach you step by step how we're going to go from that block right to this Christmas ornament. So we've got spiraled beard, a nice simple face, and a bent Christmas hat on top. Thanks. But I've got the block of basswood here. I've got my Mora knife, which is awesome for roughing out your carvings, and just going to quickly show you how I plan to rough this out, and then we'll go from there. So taking the block to start, I'm just going to take off all the corners. In the end, we're going to have a nice kind of rounded shape. Remember, this is what we're planning to carve, so we're just trying to make this oblong shape, and we're just going to start here taking off some of the edges, and you can definitely take off nice big chunks. Flip it to the next corner, then flip that around and do this side. The other trick to learn is to actually find out which way the grain is going for that piece of wood. So for this, you can see it actually chips out when I go this direction. When I spin it, it creates a nice clean cut. So you have to be aware of which way the grain is going for whatever carving you're attempting to do. So now I'm going to actually just take off this edge and just take off all the way around. So just work your way around the bottom edge, and then we're actually going to do the exact same thing on the top edge. So I think you get the idea. I'm going to continue to rough this out. Really, it's just kind of playing at it, whittling away, and I will come back with a finished roughed out piece that we will start to do our Santa in. So sorry about that, just realized my sound wasn't on. So where we've got to so far, we created our blank, we drew in the fur line of our Santa hat, which just comes and has a bit of a peak up and then comes down and then goes flat around the back. We took our V gouge and then we followed along that pencil line. Next, we were just starting to do some stop cuts and working our way into the face of the carving. You can really pronounce that rim. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're actually going to draw on the nose. So the next piece here, you're going to just, right on that front tip, right under where the point in the hat is, you're just going to draw an angle down, and again on this side, angle down. Just kind of decide where the bottom of your nose is going to go, and you make a little, just draw in that nose shape. So just like that. And we're going to take the V-gouge next, and we're just going to follow along that line. Okay, so we were ready to use the V. We've drawn in the nose, and now we're going to use the V-gouge to outline the nose. So just follow that right in there and go right along the bottom. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to take the knife and we're just going to again do the stop cuts. We're going to drop down that cheek on both sides a little bit. Now to keep this carving simple, we actually don't do any eyes in it. It's almost like the Santa hat fell right over top of him, right over top of his eyes. Pop those out of there. Okay, so now you can see we've got the nose started there. We're now just going to draw in the cheekbones. So next we're going to, cheeks will come right out of the kind of the side of the nose, and we're going to go back about not quite half the way through the carving, and we're going to go and just do a nice little rounded cheekbone. And we'll do the exact same thing on this side. So not quite half, and just nice round cheek. And we will take the V-gouge and follow that along. Okay, the nose can be a bit tricky. So what we're going to actually do is take and put the U-gouge kind of where the nostril would be. We're going to just do a bit of a channel up. The nostril is a bit lower than the top of the nose, so we're going to go on both sides and we're going to do that. And we want to try and make them as close to even as possible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip that U-gouge over, and we're going to take and right on the top of the nostril, just push in, and we're kind of creating the nostril flare when we do that. And again, on the other side, flip it back over, and then clean that up. This creates a nice flared out nose. So I'll take another one of my detailed flex cut knives, and I'm going to just clean up the top of that nose. Now, in my earlier versions of this, I would just keep it pretty simple. It would be just pretty much would leave it as a rounded nose. But I think this looks a little bit better. So, just gonna like that. And this you can just kind of play with. It can take some tinkering. You can keep this as basic as you like. Okay, we've got our nose. So there we go, starting to look like a Santa. We're going to do the Santa hat now. First, what we're going to do is actually take and stop cut and just take this edge off the entire hat. Just again. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to draw in that pom-pom, the fur on the top of the cowboy, or on the Santa hat. So here we are going to just draw a nice big pom-pom right there. Okay, draw it in a little bit darker so you can see. Now what's happening is the hat is actually kind of folding over to the pom-pom, so you can draw a bit of a swoop here. This is going to create that illusion, and do it on both sides, that your hat is folding over. Okay, now we're going to take the V tool, and we're going to go right around that pom-pom and do these the side of the hat now. So just follow around those pencil marks that you just made. And we'll probably go around this maybe twice just to get a nice deep channel. So don't worry about going too much the first time, just get that shape. Okay. There we go. So that's good. Kind of go and deepen little parts of that. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, and then take and go up those side pieces to make the side of the hat, so we can just mark where it's actually going to be going into the side of the fold in the hat. And you can go pretty deep there. Okay, so with that, we've got it just marked out. What we're going to do is actually just stop cut. We're going to kind of just clean right into that. So we're going to bring out the fur part. So utilize your stop cut and then just cut right into that, and the wood will pop away. Just go right around that little circle. Give it that depth. So we can definitely play with this lots, but that gives you the idea. So next we're actually going to create this is the bigger part of the hat and it tapers in, obviously. So we're going to create this part, this V. We're going to deepen that so that it looks like the hat is folding right in. So to do that, in this V where the ball and the fold join, do 2 deep stop cuts. Okay, and then we're just going to pop that right out of there. And you can keep doing that a little bit, just a couple times to create that shape in there. Okay, so you can see that that creates a nice little fold for that top piece of the hat. I'm just going to get rid of this top point because it looks a little out of place. I'm also going to just skinny this hat up a bit, because this will just give a really nice shape. You can totally shape your hats however you like. I kind of like to create this little U in there. So you can just shape your hat a little bit and play with that. But we'll... Okay, now I'm going to do the same cut on the other side. So you can see our hat is now folding right over on itself. So we'll get right in there, make that stop cut nice and deep by the ball and where the fold is, and then take that, pop that chunk right out of there. Like I said, it doesn't have to be one piece. Take your time, just do chunk by chunk. Okay. And sometimes I'll just take and clean that up with a V. So I apologize, the camera cut out on me there. But what I just did was I took the pencil, and so we were doing the beard. I took the pencil and I drew in the mustache, and then on right in the back of the cheek I drew in the side line here. Then on the back of the head a line down, and then again on the left hand cheek down and swooping across. So you'll see then about the width of a V, you just start to spiral those down and you just follow it along around the entire thing. Then what I did is I took the actual V tool and I carved and I followed in line with each one of those pencil lines, and I just took that and followed those pencil lines all the way around, and it gives you this spiral look for your beard. So next up we're going to finish off the fur on the Santa hat. So we're going to use a bit of a shallower gouge. We're going to do the pom-pom first. So at the very top of the hat, taking this this gouge, we're going to just start. You want to kind of make these a bit random, so but you just take out a little chunk and leave it with that, and then just go inside it and do another one. And like I said, as random as you can do. This basswood looks like it's going to chip a little there. Pop out little chunks. especially right on the edge. So you kind of do a half chunk, so it gives it that illusion of a round ball. Just go all the way around those edges. Middle there. And make a nice chunk out of that corner. This gives it a nice textured look. So if you need to, you can go back in and take additional pieces out. Now we're going to start with the hat, or the brim. So on the brim, exact same technique. Just kind of take and start doing a little chunk. And I like to kind of start somewhere on the top there. You can kind of do both sides, so you can actually take and get that rounded pebbled look. These ones you can have a bit longer profile on it, and you can see it gives you that nice pebbled burr. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest here. Like I said, it's actually better if you don't follow a perfect pattern to this. I'm going to switch back to the front here. Okay. Just noticed my hair on the back isn't quite underneath the fur, so I'm just going to do a bit of cleanup there and just try to drop that in so it looks like the hat is coming right over the hair. Now you could sand these if you wanted. I personally like the kind of handcrafted cut look of these. Okay. So there you have it. We've got our Christmas ornament, little Santa Claus. You put a little eyelet, screw in an eyelet on the top. I will try to find one so I can show you guys. Put a little bit of ribbon through, and you're good to go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks everybody.